Hi there, Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Yetta Pearl. I appreciate so much that you're here. This is your full moon reading for June 24th, 2021. So I'm not an astrologer nor an astronomer, and so I looked up some of the meanings given to us from the experts in the fields to help you know as well a little bit, like what does this mean actually, our full moon reading in June. So it relates to good fortune for all of us, like kind of like a worldwide thing. It's good fortune generally. It's about optimism. It's about generosity, and it's also about our success. So that's a really good thing, right? And about our ambition. So what is it that we want? What are you working towards? And so certainly if you're working towards something and you're keeping your eye on the prize, you're keeping your focus and you're working towards only that, then success is coming towards you for sure. So this full moon is also about being really honest. And so that feels very much like honest within yourself, also outside of yourself, but, with what you're doing, what you're thinking, your life, being really honest within your own life, right? It's a good time to be working on spirituality, so your inner self, right? This is a good time to continue finding. It feels like a continuation, finding balance between career and family. Those of you who have been working too hard and not home enough, it's time to find some balance there. It's also a time for expressing feelings. So acknowledging how you actually feel, and expressing that to your loved ones around you. Now, there is a bit of a caution there that some of these feelings are pretty raw. We don't really know what they are exactly yet. So be careful to not hurt anybody, right? You might choose to go outside and be alone and express those feelings safely to the trees first before you try to express them with people. So in that light, then we're also working on relationships with other people as well as with our own self. The base relationship for everybody is always the relationship with yourself. So, keeping your honesty with yourself creates your integrity, and that makes it so that your relationships with other people are much higher quality. So, okay, so this is a general reading, might not resonate for everybody, so take the parts that resonate and leave the rest. Okay, so here we go. What are we seeing here? So some self-care is in order. So I'm seeing that some of you for sure have been cooped up for a long time. So I'm getting a picture of somebody at a computer, kind of nose down and fingers typing madly and furiously and shoulders all hunched over. And it's time to push away from the computer, get outside, go for a walk, hug a tree, whatever you have to do, right? Get some fresh air and some activity, some physical movement. You need this very badly. I'm feeling some stiffness in the front of the hips, right? So that's also from sitting for too long, right? So it's time to go out and stretch those hips out, lift your head. So they're showing me, a person striding along with their head up and looking around them as they're walking. You definitely need that. So get out and get some air, get some movement going. And that will benefit absolutely everything. When you go back in, you'll be surprised at how much clearer your thoughts are and how well you can do your work. Compared to, yesterday, the day before. You've been struggling with that a little bit, I think, it feels like. And so, they're just continuing the deep breaths is what it feels like. Like, oh, finally, throw your shoulders back, stretch that out. That feels really good to do that. So I'm also seeing, yoga, exercise, that kind of thing contributes greatly to your well-being. So yeah, same thing. Even if it isn't specifically yoga, do something. Do something active to get yourself up and away from the desk. Even if you're not really in a desk job, because they're showing me that some of you don't have a desk job, like the initial picture showed. But even still, you've been less active than your body needs to be, right? So get some movement. Okay, I'm just seeing somebody in a wheelchair, and they're they're having a lot of fun. They're kind of having races, right? So if that's you, get out there and do that. Have some fun. Enjoy yourself. And so the more you get your body involved in your daily life, and like that, it just raises your whole self, right? Your outlook increases. You get more cheerful. You are more willing to interact with other people, and that at this moment is what you need, right? You need more people. You need more interactions. Feels like somebody is experiencing some sinus issues. That's what, like, it's just kind of stuffy in your nose and behind your nose. So it could be allergy season. Getting the exercise is going to really help get things moving with that as well. Just recently, I was reading, they're telling me to share this. I was reading that evergreen trees, so pine and spruce and hemlock and those kinds of things, if you harvest the little tips, the brand new bright green growth off of there, harvest those, and you'll probably have to look it up exactly how to do this, but you boil them in water, and then in that way you make a tea out of them. And that, apparently, I am not the expert, but apparently that really assists with allergy symptoms. So have a look at that and see if that's something that works for you. Okay, so yeah, getting your body moving, because that helps with your spiritual growth as well, right? So can you see here on the card, it increases the spiritual connection. And that's because your vibration increases as you are out in nature, as you move your body, as things, get more limber, right? And so that really helps everything flow. It gets the energy moving so that there's less stagnant spots and more just natural flow, right? Okay, that's really good. So I see a lot of healing here, and this is in all ways. So having compassion. It feels like you've been experiencing some, I can't quite call it conflict. Angels, what's the right word here for what we want to see? It's been like a period of growth, which doesn't usually feel good, right? So we don't recognize it as growth. We just recognize it as feeling down, or feeling kind of icky and not wanting to be with people. You just want to cocoon for a bit, and it's not quite licking your wounds, but it's like you just need to develop slowly and get to know your new self before you show it to other people. And so this is a really natural thing, and it's huge. It's wonderful. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know it doesn't feel wonderful, but it really is. So when you're experiencing that, we call that a healing crisis. And it's because things are changing for you. And so in this card is more talking about your spiritual growth, your inner self, and how you look at the world, how you perceive things, how you interact with the world. It's not quite personality, but it is belief systems and things like that. And it feels very much like you've been shedding a lot of old stuff. And so it's almost like you have to crack open that shell to let more of your real self out. And so it doesn't feel good while it's happening. In fact, it can be quite painful. And people around you are looking at you, wondering what in the world is going on with you because you're so different from normal. It's all good. Honestly, embrace this. No, it doesn't feel good in the short term. In the long term, wow. Wow, Leo, amazing. So it's time to have some real compassion for yourself. Let yourself do your healing. Let yourself do your changes because they are necessary for your life. Some of the people who are around you will not be able to stay with you as you make these big changes. Please don't stop the changes because of that or for any other reason. This growth is on purpose. It is in your best interest. It develops you. The world needs you to be doing this development right now too. It's all on purpose. And so any people who end up unable to come with you on this wild ride, it's because they have their own stuff to do. They are also changing and perhaps just in a different direction than you are. There's nothing malicious about this. It is meant to be. It's meant to be. So along with that, your emotions are healing. Things are really coming through for you now. And so as you allow that, as you acknowledge that this is something that is yours, everything just, so they're giving me this absolute feeling of comfort. Like it's like warm hugs right around my heart. It's really amazing. It takes a bit of time to grow into it, but it really, really feels good ultimately. And there's the odd person, like they were just saying, that cannot come with you in this, but new people come to you, are drawn to you because of your new vibration, which is much higher than it used to be. And so it feels so good. Feels so good. This is your soul tribe that are coming to you now, better, easier than they were able to before. So Archangel Uriel comes to help you open up, to help you show more love, to help you rid yourself of that inner anger. And this is what also Kuan Yin asking you for compassion for yourself, right? Same kind of idea. So you have a lot of help there with Archangel Uriel and Kuan Yin. And so there's always help. You need to ask. The angels cannot intervene on your behalf until you ask. So please do ask for help. So I'm seeing again this what the full moon energy was saying is that there's a lot of new emotion. It's time to express our feelings. But so for you, when you're feeling angry, like when it's the baser emotions, the things we normally consider negative, go somewhere where you are outside, you're in nature, where nobody else can see you and nobody else can hear you. And be angry. You already are, so just show it. Just let it explode. Be a volcano. It's like you feel it in the pit of your belly, and you just, if you let that noise out, let yourself growl, let yourself be, and do that for a long time. Stomp your feet. If you have to, pound on the ground. Something soft, make it, not cement or anything like that. Like, let's be real here. But let all that out. If you decide, to stop yourself partway through or whatever, number one, it's really hard to stop partway through. It's not a good thing at all because by then you're letting the stuff out and it doesn't want to be stopped. It's really hard to stop it by then. So please don't stop. But, sometimes it's hard to let it flow and let it out, because we're so conditioned to not allow ourselves to be angry. But if it's within you, if you're angry, you're frustrated, you're mad at somebody, or something's just not going right, and you're, oh, that all that feeling, and this can be lifelong stuff, right? Let that all out. It feels so ugly, your face screws up, and if somebody was to see you, they would think that that was a pretty ugly look on your face. But guess what? It's just as ugly if you keep it in. And then you have that ugliness just kind of waiting to spill over at the slightest provocation. So please help yourself heal by allowing all that anger to come out in a safe place where there's nobody around to get hurt from you, and where you're not hurting yourself, right? This is the voice of experience talking. I have done that action multiple times, and oh boy, does it help. It really does. So I encourage you to do that. And that brings you to peace. The more you can do that, I wouldn't say that going out and spilling like that only once will probably bring this, but if you do that a few times over the next couple of weeks, you will find a lot more peace. You'll realize that all that stuff was in there and you let it out, and you have forgiven yourself for having held on to it in the first place. And now you can be peaceful. So the angels are bringing me this emotion of just, relief, just sweet relief that now you can feel the love for the people in your life that you knew you always felt before, but you could never quite let it show because there was all that other stuff in the way, right? And now you have space for all that. And it just feels so amazing. Like you can take a deep breath and you can just simply love people because you do. There's just no more to the story. And it feels really good. It's a very huge reassurance that your life is how it's supposed to be, right? And finally, it feels like it's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. So altogether, like there's a lot going on for you here, Leo. And they're saying that you are at the end of a cycle in your life. And this is a good thing. You have let go of a lot of old belief systems. You've shed a whole bunch of that anger. You've got your body moving so that now you're more aware. You can actually feel yourself again, is how it feels. It's an amazing thing. Wow, Leo, this is a beautiful time to be you. You have choices ahead of you. And so your angels are acknowledging that times of huge growth like this and huge change, they don't feel very good in the moment. So, if you're feeling some anxiety and some, frustration at changes that are happening that maybe you weren't anticipating or things like that, it doesn't feel all that good. It's a transition time. But it's all for the good. And so now you have choices. Now, as things are changing, now you have deliberate choices to make as to where you want to be next. So they're telling me, that because this is a general reading and this is for so many people, for some of you, this is talking about relationships. For some of you, it's talking about career. For some of you, it's talking about your home, like where you're living specifically. For some of you, it's even talking about the, kind of the superficial things, like what kind of vehicle you have and all that kind of stuff, right? Either way, there's a lot of change going on for you, and change often is, you kind of stumble a little bit because it doesn't feel like solid ground, but it is. It's all on purpose, and it all brings you to peace. Like the end result here is the peace. And so So it's an amazing thing. You have to kind of wait it out and walk along with it to help it, help it finish first, like earlier than it would otherwise. But it's an amazing time. It's really a very positive, beautiful reading for you, Leo. Okay, so let's do one card from the daily guidance cards. And let's see what last little thing your angels want you to know today. Okay, whoops. Okay, 2 cards then. They don't always want, if 2 fall out, they don't always want, but they want both of these. Okay, time to go. So yes, you're at the end of this cycle. So it's time to go experience the new thing and make the decision, make the final finishing of that final thing. Make sure you go do the outdoor, the shedding of the inner angst before you do this, and that way it will feel peaceful and you will understand that it's the right thing to be doing. Time to go, absolutely. Steady progress. Yeah, you've been doing this actually for quite a while, right? So a little at a time. And just now it's coming to the culmination, the final steps of it. And you've been doing so well, Leo. Wow. Like your angels even are just in awe of what you've been accomplishing with your inner work, your inner self. It's time to fully step into that. It's beautiful. Okay, let's leave that there. Leo, I'll ask you to hang around for one more minute and let's please send a whole bunch of love and a whole bunch of compassion and healing to the whole world. This is amazing. Everyone here needs it. The planet needs it. The water needs it. The food needs it. Let's just cleanse everything and make it that much higher in quality. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Leo. I appreciate you. I love you. And take it easy on yourself. Until next time.